through what we have here. So right here you got genuine Maryland blue lump crab. And as you can see, these knuckles are just really nice and big. That's exactly what you want to see right there. Nice big knuckles, okay? When you eat a crab cake, you want to see that you're actually eating real crab. You know, sometimes when you get a crab cake, it just looks like you're getting off already and you don't want to see it like that. At least I don't. I don't know about you guys. Okay, so what I have here, let me just run through the ingredients. I have jumbo lump crab. I have mayonnaise. I have eggs, salt. I have tarragon, parsley. I have Worcestershire sauce. I have lemon juice. I have Dijon mustard, Tabasco, shallot, garlic, and black pepper. Okay, any questions? It's in 5 minutes, guys. Let's go. I take that to my students. So I'm going to start off with my mayo, Worcestershire sauce, lemon juice, Tabasco, my eggs. The eggs is going to add richness, flavor, and it's also going to aid in the binding aspect of the dish, because you don't want your crab cakes falling apart on you, right? I mean, maybe you do, but I don't. I like a nice flaky cake. Yeah. Flakes are good. Density is not good when you're doing a crab cake. Okay. Dijon mustard. You want to just incorporate this really, really good. I don't want to whip any air into it because I don't want my cakes to get fluffy and then drop. What happens when you whip air molecules into fat molecules. Don't ask me how I know this stuff. I think it came to me in a dream one night. Okay. All right, so that's my white ingredients, okay? So I'm gonna put my breadcrumbs in there. And I'm going to go ahead and add my dry ingredient. Even though shallots and garlic is not considered a dry ingredient, for this application it's gonna be. So I changed the rule in the food industry. I hope I don't get a lot of people texting me and saying I'm a moron. But if they do, that's okay. What chefs do for a living, we always push the envelope. So that was garlic, shallots, parsley, tarragon, salt. Okay. All right. And my black pepper, cracked black pepper. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to incorporate this real quick before I add my crab meat. Give it a couple toss. I'm going to go ahead and add my crab meat to this. We already broke up some of it. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly kind of just break these up kind of like that. I'm not going to break them up too small. Because like I said, I want to kind of have that in there. Okay. So now I'm going to incorporate the dry with the dry, if you will. So now I'm going to add the wet mixture. Okay, I'm not going to add all of it because what I'm looking for is consistency and continuity and viscosity in my mix. Okay, and again, as you can see, I'm just going to fold it into itself, and I'm trying not to smash the knuckles. And you basically want to bring it to the consistency that which you can just, the cake is just starting to come together. Okay. You don't want it so wet that you have this dense disc of crab cake that's not going to give you any flavors in the middle as you would on the outside. You want that to go all the way through the crab. And you know what? I've been to some really nice restaurants, and I'll tell you something. You know, doing a good crab cake is very key. There's a lot of different skill sets involved here. Your mixing aspect, your ratio aspect, your flavor profiling, and because you're working with an organic product, you always got to check your seasoning. We had talked about recipes earlier. That's where the guide is. So, like, let's say this put a teaspoon of salt in it. If I still feel like it needs more salt, I'm going to add more salt to it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and try this. Flavor is right where I want it. That's perfect. And as you can see, the crab meat, you can see the bread, you can see all the little goodies that are in there. tarragon, parsley. That's what it should look like, okay? Now at the very end, I'm just gonna add a little bit more parsley to that because I'm not liking the color. So if you have a little bit more green flakes to that. Okay. And that's an example of, okay, I have a recipe, but now I'm gonna tweak it a little bit more because of the organicness of the product. The breadcrumbs are going to have a different water content to it. The crab is going to have a different water content to it. The eggs might not be as big as the other eggs that I used before. So you always constantly check your work. Okay. So that's the crab mixture right there. About 2.5 ounces each. So you're getting 5 ounces of crab on there. So you can see the lump on there. That's what you want to see. So what I do is I'll take a little bit out, and then I'm just going to kind of pat it down, start making a disc out of it. I tell the guys in the restaurant is that you don't want it to look like it came out by a cookie cutter, right? You want to make it look like there's somebody back there actually making these by hand, which we are. Okay. So here's my clarified butter I'm adding to it. Okay. Yeah, saute does mean to jump though. If you go to, you've ever taken ballet classes? You see a lot of chefs in there.
Tell me anything, I'd believe it.
That was a good time. Okay. So if it flakes off a little bit, that's okay. That's what we want. Okay. So a lot of people like to take their crabs or any seafood item that they're cooking or any other type of protein, and what they like to do is they put it in, they just want to start moving it. Okay, you don't need to move it. Let it do its thing. Let it cook. A lot of times people go, "Oh, I saute." I'm like, okay, so then they think that you got to move the pan every 10 seconds at 10,000 miles an hour. You don't. Okay.
Can you, if you go retail Santa Monica seafood, can you get this kind of crab?
Yeah, you can. In Newport Beach, something we like to pride ourselves on is that we're an upscale restaurant in a casual setting. And what that means is, you got people coming to the beach, flip-flops, tank tops, and purse shorts. The last thing they're wearing is a tuxedo coming out of the beach. And it doesn't mean that people that come to the beach want to eat fried foods all day long. So what we did is we designed this menu to be upscale but casual. And then what that means is people can come in off the beach, have great eats, and not have to worry about all the pretentiousness of a fine dining restaurant, So it's worked out really well for us, and we haven't looked back since. I mean, our sales have gone up every single week over week, month over month, year over year. We haven't had a down month or a down week since we've opened. Friday, Saturday night, you can wait almost anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours. Hour and a half to 2 hours to get in here and get a table. That's how popular we've become. I have some sliced cucumbers, okay, the English cucumbers, and I got Mexican papaya mint relish, okay. I have a little bit of parsley for garnish, and I have a little bit of alfalfa sprouts that I use on top for garnish, and also I have edible flowers that I use for garnish as well. Okay. Just as simple. You know what? This is so easy to do at home. You just take your cucumbers, you slice them in half, and then after you slice your cucumber in half lengthwise, then you can go ahead and slice them in half from that point, so you get little half moon shapes like that. Okay. I got the papaya mint relish, and what this really adds is like some coolness to the dish itself. Coolness to the dish itself. The Thai chili sauce, it says Thai chili, but on a scale of 1 to 10, it's probably like about a 4 or 5. Because I didn't want this to be too spicy. I want you to actually be able to taste the crab meat. Okay. And then I just add a little bit of microgreens and flowers on top for garnish. Okay. there like that. So I brought it dry just to get the residual oils off the plate. And you kind of almost want it flaking off like this. This is what I kind of like to see. I'm going to turn that around because I want that to be kind of the presentation side. And this is our Thai chili sauce that we put on. Okay. A little bit more. There we go. And then I just dab a little bit more parsley on top for a little bit of color. Not too much. Okay. Okay. So crab cake.
Beautiful. It's awesome, chef. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.